Does that mean you're stuck in this form forever? How about a story? He's like, please don't remind me I'm stuck in a child form. Hey Internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon, and now we're gonna do the final and canon route, which is Waltz. So, if you guys haven't seen the other routes, I have done all of them. If you want to check them out, there's a playlist in the description, and yeah, I'm gonna do both the good and bad endings, so let's see what will happen here. Chapter 3, Peter Pan. Alright. I did skip a lot of the prologue stuff, so we did miss a few things, but it was just Waltz doing his magic stuff, and Lucette wondering how he's able to do it, so I decide that I cannot waste any more time. The next day, I search for Waltz as soon as the brim stops dragging me around. I swear he was just here a while ago. Anise, have you seen Waltz? Oh, I just saw him a while back inside. I find him talking with Parfait and Delore in the reception area. All of them are speaking in solemn whispers. As soon as Parfait and Delore notice me, they break off of their conversation with Waltz. Both the witch and fairy step away from Waltz. Excuse us, princess. I watch curiously as Delore and Parfait leave the room without another word to me. What were they talking about? Waltz turns in my direction and smiles. Morning, princess. I turn towards Waltz and watch as he begins to put some puppets on the table into a box. Are these your toys? These are for a show that I'm doing later. I want to be playing at these things with my age. You look 12. I do not see how that is too old to be playing with dolls. Oh, that's right, because she doesn't know he's like a fully grown hot dude. Alright. I told you before, didn't I? I have the Neverland curse. He never explained what his curse was. I'm actually older than you are. I find that hard to believe. You don't know the story of Peter Pan, do you? It's not my fault that Mother had all the fairy tales removed from the palace. When I do not answer, Waltz only sadly gives me a small smile. I assume that's a yes. Peter Pan is a boy who lived in Neverland. It's a place where no one can ever grow up. I'm stuck in this child's body as a result of my curse. I won't revert to my real form until my curse is broken. Then, how old are you really? I'm 22 this year. You know, for some reason I thought like Waltz was like in his late 20s. I don't know, I really thought he was like 27, like older than Rumpel. I don't know why I thought that. What? I can only stare in shock at Waltz's childish appearance. It is so hard to believe that he's actually older than I am. I never liked being treated as a child. That's never changed. Even when I was a child I didn't like it. But let me assure you that it is much more annoying being treated like a child as someone who's younger than you. Waltz straightens with the box in his arms. Now, if my princess will excuse me. He turns to leave. Where are you going? I have a show today. Waltz does so many puppet and magic shows. How will he help break my curse if he's never around? I'll go with you. What? I might accomplish a good deed if I come to one of your shows. That's true, but Waltz sighs. I'm not sure it's a good idea. There are bad witches out there. Oh, there's an evil witch right here in the Marchen, but no one is protecting me from her. Oh god, don't talk about Delora that way! Are you talking about Delora? Who else would I be referring to? Waltz stares at me for a long moment, eyes thoughtful. He sets the box down on the table again. Don't go anywhere. I'll ask Lady Parfait first. He leaves the room. I lean over the box on the table and see a pile of carefully detailed puppets. Everything looks handmade. I used to sew my own puppets before Mother found out and forbade me from making them. Really? What a bitch! This girl can read fairy tales, she can leave the palace, and then she can't make her own toys? What's wrong with this lady? She told me that sewing was not something a crown princess should do. Interested? Waltz's footsteps are soft that I did not even notice that he returned to the room until I saw him standing before me. I step away from the box. How did he move so quickly? Permission granted. Come on, the show starts in an hour. I watch as Waltz sets up a small booth on the street where I'd first seen him with Emmeline. Back then, I never thought I would see him again. It's nice to see you actively trying to break your curse. I shrug. I'm not convinced this will work, but Parfait said that if I partnered up with someone, I might be able to break my curse faster. So you chose to partner with me? His tone of voice startles me. He sounds both happy and sad. Was he lying when he said he wanted to help me? That everyone in the Marchen was willing to help me? Would you rather I pick someone else? No! I jump at his sudden reaction. Waltz awkwardly clears his throat. No, I'll do everything I can to help you. Waltz heads to the back of the booth. I begin to follow him, but am forced to stop when he holds out his hand. You haven't had enough training to be my personal assistant yet, Princess. What? I stare at him, puzzled. I never said I wanted to be your personal assistant. And training? Why would one need training to assist with a children's show? You might just be able to snag a good idea if you agreed to becoming my assistant, you know. There's a teasing twinkle in Waltz's eyes as he waves me off. But until you're ready, you should stay with the children and just watch the show. I think you'll enjoy the story. I recommend getting a good place up front. You'll be able to see all the action that way. When I do not move, Waltz sighs and smiles at me. I promise, the children won't bite you unless you bite them first. Fine. That's my star. Star? Huh. He disappears around the back, leaving me alone. In no time at all, people begin to gather. Soon there's an impressive audience around Waltz's small booth. I look at the crowd of children that are clustered as close as possible to the front. They are all clearly excited for the show to start. I used to do puppet shows with my dolls too. I feel less alone when I pretend my dolls could talk. That's really sad, oh my god. Am I still alone? Nothing has changed. I sigh as I step aside to allow someone else to stand beside me. I'm surprised to see that person is still an adult. I look at the gathering crowd to find that there is an almost equal ratio of children and adults. Why would adults be at something as childish as a puppet show? Hello everyone! An excited silence falls over the area as Waltz's voices rises above the crowd. I, Waltz, am here to once again share another story with you. I hope you enjoy the show. Once upon a time, there was a village whose people were always happy. But one day, an evil witch found the village. The evil witch carried darkness deep in her heart. She was jealous of the townfolk, who were filled with so much light and happiness. If I cannot be happy, the evil witch said, then no one can be happy. How overly dramatic. She doesn't know it's about her own freaking mother. I almost jump when I feel a tug on my dress. I look down to see a little boy pulling at the hem of my skirt, though his eyes remain focused on the puppets. I don't like her. That witch. She's bad. His grip on my skirt tightens. He's wrinkling my dress. Leave him alone, remove his hand. I know the kid's not doing it out of, like, malice, it's a kid, but, like, I'm gonna say, to remove his hand? I reach down to pry the boy's hand off my skirt, but the boy moves faster than me. The moment I pull his hand away, he quickly refreshes his grip, this time around my hand. Oh! Hey! The boy does not move his hand. In fact, his hold only tightens, so much that I could find it possible to pull my hand away. There's no way I can make him let go without causing a scene. Now I'm going to be stuck holding the hand of a little boy I do not know until the end of the show. How did this happen? Darkness spread over the village. The people began to suffer. They forgot what happiness felt like. Oh, one villager decided to leave and find a good witch that would help save everyone from the evil witch. The villager knew it would be very dangerous, for if he was discovered, the evil witch would certainly kill him and his family. But the man knew he had to try if he ever wanted to see the other villagers smile again. Many days later, the man finally returned with a good witch whose heart was filled with light, and as the evil witch was filled with darkness. The good witch, unable to bear the sight of the villagers' suffering, decided to help them. She cast a powerful spell that would send the evil witch away to save the village, at the cost of her own life. Once the spell was cast, the darkness disappeared from the village. To this day, the people of the village said that they carried the good witch light with them, and everyone lived happily ever after. That was a short story. I expected a little bit longer. But aren't all witches evil? That's simply not true. I've met a good witch, one with a heart more light and loving than any fairies. More of the children began to ask questions. I sighed, unable to do anything except wait while Waltz was bombarded with questions. Thank you! The boy that took my hand gives it one last squeeze before running off to join his friends. What did he thank me for? Once the audience finally leaves, Waltz comes out from behind the booth and smiles up at me. The show was a success! Princess? There was a boy. He thanked me, even though I did nothing for him. The little boy who was with you? But you did do something. You held his hand. I did not want to. I realized that when I saw the annoyed look on your face. It would have been good of you to do it if you meant to calm him down. What? That boy was really frightened by the evil witch in the show. He thanked you because you held his hand and stayed with him when he was scared. Sometimes just having someone beside you when you're afraid is enough. Having someone beside you? I think back on all the times I felt scared. Mother always told me to hide my fear and never cry because it made me appear weak. I could never ask for help, and the king was never there for me. Every time I was afraid, I was always alone. I shook off the memories and realized that Waltz is asking me a question. What did you think of the show? It was short and simple. That's it? I created that entire show, you know, story, characters, everything. It could have been better. Oh my god, Lucette, no, don't say that. You wound me. I have nothing more to say and Waltz seems disheartened by my silence. You always complimented my stories, even when they were silly. Waltz telling me stories? I do not recall such a thing. Oh my god, that's probably when she was a kid, right? Oh, he makes it sound as if we've known each other for a long time. Before I can ask him for clarification, he changes the topic. Do you mind accompanying me to the toy shop before we head back? Do I have a choice? Waltz's lips quirk into a smile as he picks up his materials. You might have fun, princess, come on. That's interesting, cause like, I'm wondering how old Lucette was exactly when, how old was she? She was like a really young kid, right? So that means Waltz must have been in the palace for a couple of years before the mother kicked him out. This is the shop I went to before I was cursed. Feel free to look around, princess, I won't be too long. I nodded him before walking over to the doll display. The dolls here are actually beautiful, but with the gold I have left, I wouldn't be able to afford even one. I miss my dolls. Papa, I want that one! The sound of a girl's voice draws my attention. I look around the store before spotting a little girl pointing at a big teddy bear. She looks expectantly at the man beside her. That must be her father. The man shakes his head, his eyes filled with regret. I can't afford that one, dear. Could you choose something else? The girl looks like she's on the verge of bawling. I back away, fearing that the child might throw a tantrum. Instead, she rubs her eyes before looking up at her father with a slow smile. I understand. The man smiles and pats her head. Thank you for understanding, sweetheart. You're being so grown up. I'll need you and Mama to be happy. Aw, that's sweet. I love you, Papa. I love you too. The king has never once told me that he loved me. He must have been better off without me. Do I even belong in the palace anymore? Papa, look, the king! Uh-oh. The moment I hear her say his title, I quickly rushed from the toy shop. Hail the king! Long live the king! Hail King Gennaro! He's the first one I see, mounted on his favorite white stallion as he waves at everyone. I spot Ophelia, Rod, and Emmeline with him, mimicking his motions. The king used to invite me to join him before, but I always declined. He always went outside alone. Once a month, the king set out to check out the conditions of the kingdom in person. It is his way with bonding with the townsfolk. The Order of Caldria trails behind the royal family with Sir Alcaster at the head, but there is one particular person that is missing. It's strange that Fritz isn't here. Ooh, I wonder what Fritz is gonna be like in this route. I know he's so cursed, but like, please don't let him die because he died so many times in everyone else's route. The parade is an impressive sight. The crowd lining in the streets become denser with each passing second. I weave around the mess of people and attempt to get closer to the king. Thank you, everyone. He is smiling. A true smile. I have never seen him smile like that at me. A heaviness begins to weigh down in my heart. Suddenly it becomes harder to breathe. Please look this way. Please look at me. The king is looking happier these days, isn't he? I don't think I've ever seen him so joyful. Must be his family. Happier? All I want is for the king to look at me, to see me, but he does not so much as glance my way once. I stare at the ground with bleary eyes. He's happy without me. God, poor Lucette. I return to the toy shop with a heavy heart. The little girl from earlier is standing with her father by the door. He ruffles her hair before holding his hand out to her with a smile. She takes it with a giggle and the two of them walk off together. Hot ache stings through my blood as I watch them leave. Is this jealousy? I reach up and clutch at my chest. My heartbeat feels painful. This is a terrible feeling. Princess? Lucette? I stare at Waltz, temporarily stunned by the fact that he called me by my name and not my title. Are you okay? Despite myself, I find my eyes drawn back to the little girl and her father as they stand just outside the door of the toy shop. Princess? Okay, knowing Lucette at this, because it's still early in the route, I'm gonna say I'm fine. And I'm pretty sure Waltz is not stupid. He knows like something is wrong with her, but I think this is the right answer. You don't look fine to me at all. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a little girl and her father as they disappear into the crowd outside the toy shop. I am. You act tough even though you're hurting inside. I am not. Here. Oh, what is this for? In case you suddenly feel like crying. I'm not going to cry. I'm not that weak. Waltz frowns when I do not take the handkerchief from him. He puts it back into his pocket with a shake of his head. Crying doesn't make you weak, princess. Waltz's gaze moves to the set of teddy bears displayed on one of the shelves. He is quiet for a few moments before he speaks. He's affected by the curse. What? The king. He can't remember you because of the curse. That doesn't mean he never cared about you. That is the reason why you look so down, right? I was looking outside. I saw the way you looked at him. Doesn't he know that it's rude to stare? Oh, and how did I look? Hurt. I turned away before Waltz can see the frustration on my face. He loves you, you know, more than you'll ever know. And how would you know that? You don't know him at all. Everyone has their own ways of expressing their love. I'm sure he has his own ways. By not being there when I needed him, he has never acted like a father to me. Princess, don't pretend that you know what my life at the palace was like, Waltz. I think he kinda does, she just doesn't remember it. This conversation is over. Let's return to the Marchen.
Look what I drew!
Lucette, you know you're not meant to be in here.
But I drew a picture of us. See? There's Mother and me, and you're holding Mother's hand.
Go play somewhere else, Lucette. I'm busy.
But you're always busy, Father. I just want to...
Go to your mother. I'm sure she's looking for you.
Okay.
Yikes. I know he's acting like a dick to us, like, as a dad, but also I think it's just because he doesn't want Lucette near him because the mother would, like, freak out. I'm vaguely aware of the moonlight in my room when I sit up in bed, my heart beating painfully fast. What was I dreaming about? I feel like I was dreaming about the king, but why now? A few days have already passed since I saw him. I fell back onto the bed. I closed my eyes once again, attempt to sleep, but it hovers stubbornly out of my reach. What the hell? What was that? Who could be making that noise at the time of the night? I step out of bed and head outside to investigate. There's no one here. The sound, it's coming from the tavern. We're gonna check, cause why not? I slowly turn the knob to open the door. Hello? The broom begins to hop towards me. I begin to back away. It's the middle of the night, there's no way I'm going to sweep now, but the broom just hops past and cowers behind me. Why? That's some broom you got there. Waltz, what are you doing here? I couldn't sleep, so I decided to continue working on some of my puppets. But I accidentally stepped on the broom and it went berserk. I turned around to grab Mr. Broom, leaning it against the designated spot on the wall. But why are you here? I heard a sound. As curious as always, that's gonna get you in trouble, you know? I don't need to be lectured by you. I apologize for waking you up. You should go back to sleep. I would not be here if I could sleep. I might as well stay for a while. If that's what you want. Waltz turns back to his puppets on the table. He leans down over the puppets, checking their seams. Since you're here, I think you can help me. Help you? Aw, is that like a cute chameleon? Oh, so cute! What do you think of my newest puppet? I look at Waltz with surprise. With his eyes so wide and his lower lip jutting out, it looks like he's almost like a puppy begging for a treat. Is he expecting a compliment on the puppet? Well, I look closely at the puppet's eyes. It looks evil? Really? I'm glad to hear that. It's gonna be a villain in my next show. Really? That little cute chameleon? You know what's funny? Isn't that like Karma's favorite animal and like what his dad used to call him? Thank you for the help, princess. I'm glad that my mentor approves. Mentor? Waltz doesn't answer. That's it? Indeed. He's saying such weird stuff. I only offered an opinion, but he looks so happy. What a weird person. Waltz resumes his sewing in silence. He is very talented to be able to sew such a complicated animal. He has probably been doing this for a long time, to be so skilled, possibly even longer than I expect, considering the nature of his curse. You look like you got something on your mind, princess. Well, you have never actually told me how to break your curse. I guess I haven't. Waltz clears his throat as he goes back to his sewing. I need to find Tinkerbell and Neverland. Oh, right, you don't know the story. Mother burned all the fairy tale books in the palace before I could read most of them, and nobody would tell me any of these stories. Mother always forbade me from talking about them. Peter Pan is a story of a boy who never grows up. He is accompanied by a fairy friend named Tinker Bell, and the two of them live together in Neverland. In my case, Tinker Bell is a key that can open up Neverland. Neverland is a box, a family heirloom. My shadow is being kept in Neverland. That shadow is my magic. Once I get it back, my curse will break. Magic? I'm a witch princess. He says it so nonchalantly, like stating what his job is. He and Delora are the same? I've seen Waltz conjure flowers from thin air before, but I never associated that with a type of magic that witches do. You're a witch? A curse witch? How is that possible? Only the Tenebrae Bear has an ability to curse another witch. It's why I can do simple magic nowadays. If I ever want to cast a proper spell again, I'm going to need to find Tinkerbell in Neverland. You don't know where Tinkerbell and Neverland are? No, I don't. Does that mean you're stuck in this form forever? How about a story? He's like, please don't remind me I'm stuck in a child form. I feel annoyance begin to simmer inside of me. Why do you do that? You changed the subject purposely to avoid answering me. No, that's not it, princess. I'm trying to explain, and I think a story is the best way for me to do that. I am silenced as Waltz reaches into his box of puppets. He pulls out two of them, then motions me to sit in front of him. He holds out a puppet to me, and I can tell he intends me to wear it on my hand. My feeling of the subject must show on his face, but Waltz is resolute. Please? I do not know what this will achieve, but maybe this way I will finally get some answers. Fine. he looks so cute though. Waltz takes a deep breath. Once upon a time, there lived a princess who was always alone. She spent most of her time inside her room, as her mother, the queen, forbade her from going out. The princess's only company were her dolls, but the princess so badly wanted friends that she would always sneak out of the palace to play with the children who lived in town. Lucette's like, what? I just really want to know, like, Waltz had to be there, right? Like, living there for a while? It's as if he's narrating my childhood. How do you... But Waltz continues speaking as if he does not hear me. One day, the princess met a boy. The boy was a few years older than her, and he was the queen's faithful servant. The boy could see how lonely the princess was, and his heart ached for her. They became friends. Every day, he would sneak into her room and play with her. Oh, this is so sad! They spent 2 years like that, until the queen found out. The boy was sent away, and he never saw the princess again. Until a short while ago. I stumbled back, and the puppet slides off my hand as I stare at Waltz, my mind whirling. We've known each other for a long time, princess. This cannot be true. Waltz looks at me again, his expression full of melancholy. I always see that look. He wears it when he is happy. He seems to carry that sadness with him wherever he goes. We were friends. I never had any friends. I would have remembered. That's what you remember. Your memories have holes in them, gaps that you cannot explain. How do you know that? Because I was there when the queen ordered that some of your memories be erased. Mother? But why? Do not believe you. Do not believe any of this. Didn't expect you to believe me. Why is he looking at me like that? He looks like he's in pain, but he can't be telling the truth. I straighten up, my hands clench into fists. I'm going back to my room. I almost run for the tavern area. Waltz does not try to follow me. Of course, that's a huge shock to know, like, hey, you had a friend and then your mother's a bitch. Like, Waltz's words leap persistently in my mind. We were friends. I sit on one of the chairs in the reception area, trying to put my thoughts in order. There's no way he was my friend. Oh, what's this? What a delight to run into the princess at this hour. Though I must ask, why are you still awake, darling? I jump at the sound of Karma's voice. I turn to look at him. Karma frowns at an expression on my face. You look like you've seen a ghost. I can only stare at him in response. Oh my, is my beauty so captivating you find yourself at a loss for words? No, I was just thinking. About how beautiful I am? His ego knows no bounds. I roll my eyes and change the subject. What are you doing up this late? A nighttime stroll? I find myself fulfilled with the ennui. Right. I will go and retire for the night now. Have a good sleep. It'll be another long day tomorrow. You do not have to remind me. You still have a ways to go before you can get used to the commoner's lifestyle. I certainly struggled with it. Karma barely worked. I only ever seem slack off. But wait, are you a noble, Karma? Perhaps. Or perhaps he's a prince. Perhaps. Perhaps. This is going nowhere. The tavern is full of secretive people. I wonder if this lifestyle has anything to do with this curse. Well, I'm not planning to get used to the commoner lifestyle. I will break my curse as soon as possible. Seems like we both have a long way to go before that happens, Princess. Karma knows.
We don't want to play with you anymore. But why? We are friends, are we not?
Friends? Who said that?
You did. We were friends until you stopped sharing your toys. But that is because you still haven't...
What?
You haven't returned the toys I gave you.
Returned them? You gave them to us.
No, I did not.
Let's go and play with our real friends.
Yeah, our real friends are selfish.
What? Those kids are brats. What the heck? They're just stealing from Lucette. I warned you, dearest one. Didn't I tell you? People will only hurt you in the end. That's why I forbade you from playing with those children. I only ever want what's best for you.
I'm sorry, Mother. I'm so sorry.
Hush now, dearest one. Mother won't let anyone hurt you anymore. Chapter 4, Family. Okay guys, I'm going to end the episode right here. So it's interesting. I really didn't think Waltz was actually around the palace. I didn't think that they were friends. That's actually really sweet and really sad at the same time. It's no wonder Waltz cares so much about her and all the roots. Like, you can tell, like, he's the one who's actively always trying to help her. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Cinderella Phenomenon, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe to join the companions. And if you would like to help support the channel on Patreon, the link is in the description. You get early access to videos for Patreon only, the Discord server to contact me, and a bunch of other stuff as well. Or if you would like to help support the channel for free, please check out Gawkbox. I'm thinking of doing monthly update videos for it, so you guys can actually fund series, and you guys get to pick what kind of series that will be on my channel. But yeah, I'd really appreciate if you use Gawkbox because they would help me out a lot. And yeah, please let me know in the comments what you guys think of Waltz so far. He's adorable, but this, like, I can tell he's like so sad. His root's gonna be sad too. And I hope Fritz doesn't die, my god. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Throughout Before the Storm, Chloe experiences anxiety dreams with her father, who is also being watched and controlled by a raven. If you watched my previous theory, I explained that the maybe next time you invite 2 people over, don't start fucking one of them. Oh, bye! Oh no! What is it?